We're talking point guards for this upcoming season that I think could have some make it or break it years. And the first one we're going to talk about is Lonzo Ball. Now, Lonzo was really good as a rookie, as long as you don't pay attention to his shooting, because his rebounding, his passing, his defense were all way better than you would expect for a guy who just showed up in the NBA, right? He made the Lakers a better team when he was out there, but still, the dude has some limitations, and now he's got LeBron James as a teammate, so I think there are certain situations where having LeBron will definitely help Lonzo in transition. I think he'll also just give Lonzo a guy who he can fill up some assists to, you know? You pass the ball to LeBron, generally the ball goes in the basket, so that'll be good. Of course, playing with a great passer never hurt anybody. In this case, LeBron throwing the ball to Lonzo in situations. But you could also argue that in a half-court setting, with Lonzo not always having the ball in his hands, he could hurt the Lakers a bit. So, what's going to happen? Is his jump shot just going to get better? Is he going to become a great cutter? Is he going to grab a million offensive rebounds? Who knows? We're going to have to find out. Next, we move on to the Brooklyn Nets. D'Angelo Russell, because it's just going to be another year of what really is this guy, you know? The potential's definitely there. He's shown flashes of a guy who can be a big-time scorer. I mean, what was it? He has like somewhere around 7 or 8 or 9 30-point games in his career. Depending on whatever night you tune in, you'll think he's one of the best passers in the NBA. But then there's other times when he looks a little disinterested, or he doesn't totally know how to run an offense, or he's taking bad shots, or he's getting killed on defense. So all we can do is give a guy like that time, and hopefully he doesn't get injured this season, because while I think his first 10 or 11 games, or whatever it was before he got hurt last year, I think they were a little overrated, but even so, he was definitely getting the momentum going before he had to sit a bunch of times. So we'll see with D'Lo. We're going to stay on the Brooklyn Nets and go to Spencer Dinwiddie, because I am really interested to see how these two will coexist. Can you play Dinwiddie and Russell at the same time? Because I'm going to guess both of these guys are expecting to start, and I think you can make a case for either one. So what's going to happen? I mean, Dinwiddie was definitely better than Russell last season, and, you know, his playmaking and just the way he makes the Nets just look like an actual basketball team when he's out there is really valuable. But you could argue that D'Lo's ceiling is higher, his scoring ability is something you need to invest in more, and Dinwiddie is destined to be like a 25-minute per game kind of guy. Who really knows? The only way we're gonna know is by putting them both out there, play them together, play them separately, and one of them's gonna outplay the other. And I think with Dinwiddie, it's also a matter of, can he do what he did last season now that teams are going to be scouting him a little bit more, but also how long can you go on without being that good of a shooter? Because his field goal percentage was pretty rough last season. He still made it work, but, you know, can you keep on doing that? We're going to have to find out. Next, Terry Rozier, who became Scary Terry during the postseason, embarrassed Eric Bledsoe, and made everybody think, wait a minute, hold on. Was Danny Ainge actually right about this dude that he refused to trade, where we all thought he was just some backup point guard, and then before we know it, he's dropping 20 points a game, making three-pointers that just a year ago we were like, why the hell are you even shooting this? Well, now he's going to have a whole season. He's going to be playing behind Kyrie Irving, of course. You know, can Rozier be this huge scoring presence off the bench for the Celtics? Is he going to get to the level where he convinces some other team to give up a first-round pick to get him? Because, I mean, if he's able to do what he did in this postseason, like in a smaller role for them this year, he's going to be asking for some money. And maybe the Celtics are not going to be willing to pay him, and then someone else can swoop in and get themselves a new starting point guard. Or maybe he's not that guy, and the performance he put on in the postseason was just lightning in a bottle. Now, his shooting really came around and then some. I don't know if we can expect him to hit as many contested shots, but Perhaps his burst off the dribble will improve. Maybe he'll be just this great playmaker. Who knows? But Terry Rozier's stock has definitely risen nonetheless. And then finally, Jamal Murray, who is probably the best player out of the 5 here and could end up averaging 20-something points a game in the prime of his NBA career. And the reason why he's here is because we're kind of getting close to what his prime will be. You know, this is going to be his 3rd season. He showed that he can be a real starting point guard this year as he's able to hit threes off the dribble, contested shots. He can play off the ball. He's got a really good relationship with Nikola Jokic. And now I think this season we're going to find out how good Jamal Murray is really going to end up being. I mean, of course, you never totally know because there's always the chance of someone making a Victor Oladipo jump. But still, the shooting's there. The ball handling is there. What's Jamal Murray? You know, is he a mid-tier point guard who can occasionally drop 30 points out of nowhere? Or is he going to be some big-time scorer who is going to deserve a max contract? I mean, if you ask me, all the signs are there. He's got the confidence, he's got the game. 6'4" is like a little taller than average for a point guard, so he's got that going for him. As I say with so many of these guys, we're just going to have to wait and see.